Anyway, so I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I was expecting you to clap right there. I wrote a book. And I'll tell you this, me writing this book was probably, to me at the time, sounded like the stupidest thing that I could do. Sounded very silly. Like, what do you mean you want to write a book? What do you know about writing a book? I meet people today who say to me, dude, I've been thinking about writing a book for a while. I meet 40-year-olds who say to me, I've been thinking about writing a book for a while. I said, oh, maybe that was my problem. I didn't think, I want to write a book, let's go. I want to do this, let's go. And in some way, I'm very grateful that I am naive at that level. In some way, I'm very grateful that I am foolish enough to go ahead and do things that seem so impossible to me. So in me writing this book, in me writing How Can I Make a Difference, people have been asking, what is this book about? What is this book for? And I'll tell you now, me writing this book, my intention behind writing this book and putting the title the way it is, there were a couple of titles which I scratched out, which when I look back, they sound very, very foolish. But when I got to How Can I Make a Difference, I wanted to speak to you directly. I wanted to speak to you. I wanted to confront you with this question. And so the whole aim of this book is to get you to ask the question, how can I make a difference? And at the end of the book, hopefully, help you get to a place where you can have some clues as to how you can answer this question, how can I make a difference? See, in my own way, that's the only thing that I live for. In my own way, that's really all I'm about. In my own way, all I want to do is make a difference. I want to make money. Let's be very clear about that. A lot of it. I want money. However, it'll really mean nothing to me if when I'm done, that's all that's remembered about me. He had money, now he's gone, and the money's here. The money doesn't live on. It's the impact that lives on. That's the legacy. The legacy is not in the companies that you will build. It is not in what you are going to create. It is in the impact that you have in the lives of the people around you. And so, speaking of impact, I want to tell you some stories. There was somebody that I was speaking to the other day. I was having lunch with some friends. I was with Prince and Clement. I'm name dropping. Clement is the actor in Scheme Sam. That's me name dropping. But I was with them, and while we were sitting there, somebody showed up. Right, I was on the phone at some point, but because I was busy, planning for the launch and whatever. And while I'm on the phone, there's a guy who's standing by the door. As soon as I hang up, he rushes over to me and he says, "My brother, I just want to say thank you." That's the first thing he says. He says, "I just want to say thank you." He says, "I'm on TikTok right now, and I joined TikTok about a week ago." And he shows me he has a bunch of documents. He says, "I'm over here looking for a job." He says, "At some point I sat down and I was done, but listening to you every single day got me to get up." He said, "I'm a chef and I am over here right now. I'm in the middle of looking for a job. I'm hustling. I am pushing. I am moving." And when you hear that, it means something, right? And tell you this, I met another guy a while ago, a man who's he's a big part of my life now. And when he also met me online, he saw my content on TikTok and he started seeing my stuff and following what I'm doing. He's a father of two and a husband. And he said to me, I remember he said to me, when I got to meet him finally, because I had only seen him online. So when I finally got to meet him, he said to me, "You know what, before I came across your live streams, I used to pop a pill every single night before I went to sleep. I had no peace." He said, "When COVID hit, I lost my job, my business went sideways, and everything has been bad ever since." He says, "I had no peace, I could not rest unless I was medicated." He says, "Ever since I joined your live stream," because I do these live streams, for those of you who don't know, every morning I share a word of encouragement at 7 a.m. I've done that from February this year, every single day until this morning. And this man says to me, ever since I joined, from the day I joined, I've had so much peace, right? Now, here's the thing for me. This is a father, right? This is a father. When he has no rest, when he is not at peace, the house is not at peace. And so every single time that I see this, and every single time that I listen to this, and I see the impact that myself, as a young man, I'm able to have, I realize that there is so much more that we also can do. It's more than just about accomplishments. It's more than just about money. It's more than just about little moments of fame and followers and the numbers. It's more than just about that. The only reason why we care about the numbers is because the numbers represent souls. We care about the numbers because the numbers represent hearts. That's the only reason why we care about the numbers. It's not because it pumps our egos and gets us excited about who we are and how good we are. It's because there are lives behind that. There are fathers, there are mothers, there are children. There are generations that are yet to be changed as that happens. I'll tell you one more story. On TikTok, I haven't met this person. She's in Australia. She often joins my live streams. And then one morning, after she had been joining for a long time, one morning she sends me a message and she says to me, listen, I just wanted to share this with you. I haven't had a chance to share this. And she says, the first time that I joined your live stream, the first time I came across your content, I was sitting on the roof and I was ready to end it all. She says, I was sitting on the roof and I was ready to end it all. I decided that let me just listen. I might find something that might change my mind. And she says, I joined in, and that's why you see me here every single morning. Right? She said, that's why I listen every single time. That's why you see me in the comment section. That is why you see me here every single day. The point that I'm making to us today is that this is about impact. This question, how can I make a difference, is about impact. And if I can live my life convincing more and more people to lead lives that make a difference in some sense, that'll be it for me. If I can convince one more person today to say, listen, you go ahead and write that book. You go ahead and start that organization. You go ahead and talk to that person. You go ahead and make that phone call to so-and-so. If I can convince one more person today to say, you ask the question, how can I make a difference? Can we go beyond the numbers? Can we go beyond the recognition? Can we go beyond just accomplishments and attainments of whatever? Hello, boy. Right? We want to go beyond that. We want to go beyond that. We want to make a difference. I'll tell you this. I remember when I was writing the book, I thought about an illustration, and this is from the movie I Am Legend. I don't know. Apparently, there's multiple I Am Legends. I only know one by Will Smith. But anyway, I saw that, and I remember when I was writing the book, I was thinking about I Am Legend. Right? There was a moment when I was watching I Am Legend and seeing this guy being the only human being around. Right? He was the last human survivor in New York City, and so, with him being the last person, I remember thinking to myself as I'm watching this, what would it be like to be the only human being? Right? Now, here's what happened. Immediately, I think to myself, I can walk into any dealership and pull any car that I want to. Right? That's beautiful. I can walk into any house, rearrange however I want to. If there are some shoes in there that belong to whoever was there, I move everything. It's mine now. I can have anything that I want to. Money is not an issue. I can live beyond any financial need, any physical need. I can live beyond that. And then I thought to myself while I was sitting there, and this is a couple of years ago, I was much younger, and as I'm sitting there thinking, I thought to myself, it'll be time to die. Like, I'd want to die. Like, if I'm the only person, I'd want to die. Because what's the point of having all of that and I'm by myself? What's the point of driving whatever car I wanted to and I'm by myself, and living in that house but I'm by myself and there's no one around? And as I'm thinking that, I thought to myself, perhaps our existence is tied to other people. Perhaps our whole entire existence is tied to the next person. Your whole entire existence is tied to the community around you, be it your family, your children, your spouse, the people in your community, the people in the world around you. Perhaps our whole entire existence is tied to the people around us. And once again, that is why we ask the question, how can I make a difference? And here's what I love about it. What I love about this question of how can I make a difference is that when we ask this question and when we answer it, it makes a difference in our own lives. I often say to people, why don't you just make, just as an experiment, when you are down and you are in your feelings, right? When you are caught up in yourself and you are depressed and you are going through all of this, why don't you just force yourself to go out and do something for somebody? See what it does. See, I've done this multiple times where when I'm not feeling good and I just get up and I try to go do something for someone. I just force myself to go do things for other people. It changes everything. It changes everything. Even in your career, whatever it is that you do, listen to me. Can I tell you that? Can I tell you a secret about this whole book thing? This whole book thing is, at the end of the day, there's going to be so much money to it, right? There's going to be so much money to it. Yes, I want to have money. Yes, I want to do that. But I know that the more people I impact, it changes my life. Yes, I want all these things. But every single time that I impact one more person, it changes my life. And so I say to us today, the question, how can I make a difference, is a question that expands beyond ourselves. It is a question that moves on to the next person. It is a question that impacts communities. It is a question that echoes down for generations to come. There are those of us today, you will go out and you are currently doing things that will have an impact on the next generation. There are those of us today, and I thought about this when I was sitting down. I thought to myself, I'm writing another book, and I want to write another book, and I want to write another one, and another one. However, every single thing that I do, you know what my dream is? My dream is that 200 years from now, though I may not be around, they're talking about what I said. Right? 200 years from now, the work that I did is in libraries. 200 years from now, the work that I did is being spoken about. Right? Now, I want you to understand this. It's about whatever it is that you do today will have an impact on the next generation. It'll have an impact on the next generation, whether it is good or whether it is bad. I had a conversation with my friend Tumo, her husband, great guy. That's a catch, by the way. That's a catch. I'm telling you now. Listen. But we had a conversation one time, and we were talking about business, because he does business and whatever, and he was saying to me that, in the space, in business, you always have people who cut corners. You always have people who do things their own way. You always have people who cheat, who lie, who do all kinds of things just to get ahead. And he said to me, for a lot of people, it works because right now I'm getting ahead. And he said to me, just watch, for a lot of these people, their children are going to pay for it, because you won't even understand how it is that generational wealth just crumbled in the next generation. You wouldn't even understand. We know some people right now, right? We know some people right now who their parents did amazing things. Their parents did amazing things, left them with a lot. But for some reason, it just didn't seem to be able to make it to the next generation. The next generation will always pay for it. However, the next generation can thank us for what we did today. The next generation can celebrate what we did today. We often celebrate some public holidays such as June 16, and every single time that June 16 rolls around, I always think to myself, what is the generations that are to come going to be celebrating? Are they still going to be celebrating June 16? Seriously, now just follow me on this one. Are they still going to be celebrating June 16? What are we doing today that in the next generation can be commemorated and said, okay, cool, we remember what happened in 2020, in 2021, in 2022. What happened on that day changed the course of history. We can't surely be celebrating the works that the generation before us did, and the next generation now has it. Now we have it. Now all we can do is celebrate what they did, remember what they did. What is it that we are going to do? What are we going to do? Yes, we talk about everybody who came before. We talk about Nelson Mandela. Can I just... At some point, guys, it has to be Poloko as well, eh? At some point, it has to be Poloko as well. It has to be, Utata Poloko once said, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the plan. That's the plan. It can't be, you understand what I'm saying? So, that's the point of this book. That is the point of me saying, how can I make a difference? That is the whole point behind me saying, let us ask this question. Let us live the rest of our lives. Let us commit the rest of our lives to asking this question and answering this question. Let us commit the rest of our lives, the rest of our beings, to asking and answering, how can I make a difference? What can I do? How can I make your life better? What is it that I can do to change existence right now? The world is hurting. We know this. The world is hurting. We have opinions about it. We all have opinions. We all know this. We all have opinions about what needs to be different, what needs to change, what could change. However, we just kind of here waiting for somebody. Waiting for somebody. No, nobody's coming. It's us. Nobody is coming. It is us. So I'll tell you this, right? So during the course of me writing this book, I remember there was something that I decided to do, and it was a very difficult year. Last year was a stupid year. Can we just agree with that? Like, last year was a very stupid year. I don't know what was going on last year. Like, everything was just upside down, inside out, and you thought you were coming, then you were going. You thought you were going, you were coming, and it was a lot, right? And so I still remember sitting there writing this book while we are locked down, and I'm thinking about, okay, what's next? What's next? Where do we go? What do we do? How do we do it? And what is supposed to happen? And I remember sitting there, and I sat down as I was writing. I said, God, this is your assignment. I didn't come up with this idea. I didn't call myself to be a speaker. I didn't call myself to do any of this. Honestly, if it was up to me, can I share with you guys my dream? I want to be an athlete. You've seen how I'm built. Really? No, seriously. Full time, I just want to be, if I could just be an athlete for the rest of my days and just get paid for doing athletic stuff, I would. You've seen it. So what I'm saying to you is, when I was younger, I didn't set out to say, I want to be a speaker. This is what I want to do. I want to be a writer. Can I tell you, 2 years ago, I didn't know that I would have written a book today. That wasn't part of my 5-year plan. That wasn't a part of where I'm going and how it's going to be. I didn't know. Honestly, I did not know. And so when the time came, I said, God, it is you who led me here. Following you got me in this predicament. Following you got me in this predicament. Yes, it's hard right now. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's tricky right now. But I'm telling you now, God, that following you got me into this predicament. I am here because I was following you, and I was doing what it is that you sent me to do. I need money to print books because you told me to print a book. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, God, I am here. These people, I need data today because you told me to be doing all these live streams and whatevers and whatevers and whatevers. I am here today because you told me to be doing this. Once again, God, if it was up to me, I'd be an athlete, right? I feel like we need to keep on confirming and just reiterating that. And so when this happens, so last year as I'm sitting there and I said, God, here's what I ask you to do, right? And I'm gonna finish with this. I said, God, here's what I ask you to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how this is gonna end. All I know is what I'm supposed to do right now. I said, I'm gonna do that. Now, with that being said, God, here's what I ask. Take care of every single part of this process. And I'm telling you this because looking around this room, and I look too good to be crying. I can't just. I'm not supposed to be doing this. But I'm saying this, looking around this room, there are so many people that God, along this journey, God has positioned so many people around me. Thank you so much. It's worse when you wipe it. Like, it looks worse. It just looks worse when you wipe it. This has to stay in this room. This cannot, we can't talk about this outside this room. We can't. We cannot. Thank you. Here's what I'm saying. Looking around this room right now, there are people who along this journey, some of them have been in it's weird because some of them have been in my life for a long, I've known them for a long time, but over the past year have played such a major role in my life, and God has positioned so many people in such unique ways. I really don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. And I speak to so many people often, and they say, I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm still trying to do this before I can do that. Before I can make a move, I have to figure that out, and I have to get this. I'm just like, but I just went ahead and did it. And along the way, God has placed so many of you in my life, and you have done incredible things. You have been understanding. You have been patient. You've shown me so much love. You've shown me so much kindness. And so many of you have went as far as putting resources on the line. It was more than just words, right? I appreciate the words. Words are nice, thank you. But there are those of you who have put resources on the line and put their own reputations on the line and put what they had on the line to say, we believe in what you are doing. And I will always, always be grateful. I will always be grateful. There are people such as Amanda who showed up, and so much of what is happening today, so much of what you see, the cover of this book, the way that the cover of this book looks now, you guys remember, some of you remember the old cover. It was stupid because I did it myself. I did it myself, and some of you still have that cover. I'm sorry. Some of you still have it. But Amanda showed up and she said, listen, can we just, and she sent it to me. She didn't even ask. I was wrong. She didn't ask. She just did it. And she was like, here's a cover. Let's do this. And I said, okay, cool. We can do it. And we went ahead and did it. And so much of what you see today, I don't know how we got to Centon Library. I have no idea. But I'm saying this because Amanda, in front of I want to say thank you so much. And this whole thing, the relationship that we have started with a text on TikTok, and I didn't want to reply to her because, you guys do too much. You guys be doing too much in these messages. So I really did not want to respond to her. But at some point, I remember there was a text that Amanda said. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a text that she sent me. She said, listen, I want to help you. This is what I want to do. I feel in my spirit, God has said to me that I should help you. And I said, okay, great. And then she said to me, listen, I'm going to send you some contacts. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you that. And even if you don't, if I don't hear from you, it's cool. But that's what I want to give you. And I think that'll help. Great. I called her back. I said, hey, man, listen, what? You know these people? How do you know this? How did you do that? And, and ever since then, came along, and ever since has been really, really faithful. That's why I pay her as much as I do. I don't pay her. I don't pay her. Amanda does not get money from me. But has been really cool and really faithful with that, and very patient with me when I miss deadlines, when she asks me for that and then I don't do it, and just keep on being so patient. There are people in here like Melissa. So many of you, because you don't know me so well, you may not know who Melissa is, but Melissa has been such a solid part of my life. Melissa, I tell you this right now, right? Can I tell you that? Okay, I'm gonna say this first. I believe that I'm a big deal. However, Melissa seemed to be the only person at some point who would say it louder than anybody did, before any of it was visible, before there was any evidence of it, right? And Melissa has been so encouraging. You have been such an amazing sister to me, and along the journey, you have always, always, always gotten me to remember and to just be mindful of where I'm going and what I'm doing. And you drove me all the way to Joburg, smashed your windscreen, and you have insurance though. Insurance sorted that out. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for being my sister. Thank you so much for believing in what I'm doing. And man, I'm telling you, I could go down and there's my family. Let me tell you guys this, right? So, I stop crying. I don't even know what I'm gonna pee at this point because everything just comes out through my eyes. Everything's just coming out through my eyes. But my family's here as well. Drove all the way from Rustenburg, and they were late. It's a family thing. You know, they don't do that. You were late. You were late. But thank you so much for supporting me, for standing by me in every single way. And my aunt as well is there. I'll tell you guys this. So in there are some stories, obviously, and on the back of the cover is also the house that I lived in when I was younger. And one of the things that I wrote in there was that, you know, my family, where we come from, my grandmother was a domestic worker. She used to clean for other people. My mother has done that too. It's true. She has done it. My aunt also. And a while ago, my aunt said to me, "Why would you do that? Why would you put our business out there? Just tell people other things. There's a lot of other things that have happened in your life." And I said, it's important. It's important. It's where I come from. And to me, it's a big deal. And I don't ever want to forget, right? I don't ever want to forget how this came about. I don't ever, one day when I get to where I'm going, I don't want to forget how I got there. I don't want to forget how it started. I don't want to get there one day and feel like I belong here. I want to be able to still remember that, listen, right back there, that's where I started. That's where I started. That's what it was. Right? And so there's so much more that I want to tell people. Like, you don't even know. I'm going to tell them the house we lived in. I'm going to tell them that you used to sleep on card boxes. I'm going to tell them everything. I'm going to tell them everything. I'm going to tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's because it matters to me, and this is how we got to where we are. This is how we got to where we are. And what it does is it reveals the glory of God. It just shows that actually God is good. Right? He's good. He's a good God. He's a faithful God. So, you know, there's been my family that's been very supportive. There's Auntie Brenda over here also came all the way from Rustenburg. Auntie Brenda has been great as spiritual anchor, and she prays. Oh, she prays. Auntie Brenda prays. I tell you guys right now, and she prays. Oh no, you would think I'm playing right now. She prays. But it's been a great spiritual anchor. Very concerned about my well-being and my family's well-being, and always asking these questions. And there are brothers, of course, Presley, Cams, Diesel. He was mad at me because I didn't give him a shout out when I went to Tibo Touch. Lita was here as well. Brothers who have been standing with me, who have been walking with me over the past while. Don't say no. I said family. Can't tell you not family. You know, it's my sister as well, who believes that she believes she carried me. That's my little sister. That's my two little sisters actually sitting beside each other. But I don't understand hand gestures. Okay, I'll get them down here in just a moment, but I want to say thank you to the guys. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys know it's love always. Love always. You have shown me so much love. You have shown me so much support. Again, it's a Thursday afternoon. It's a Thursday afternoon. You had to make plans to be here on a Thursday afternoon all the way from Rustenburg. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. So many. There's the TikTok family, people who are doing amazing things on TikTok. You know, Pink Panther, thank you for being here, girl. Tato. Goodness. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, guys. There is who else? There's Ayanda. Ayanda has been such an oh my goodness. There's so much that I can't say. And Ayanda, thank you so much for being as supportive as you have been, for being everything that you have been. You've done so much for me that I can't even begin to thank you for, and I don't understand for what reason. I don't know why you're doing all these things that you would. I don't know why you have been so good to me. There are so many people all the way from Rustenburg as well. There's Shanice as well. There's Eddie. There is who else is from? Oh, that's the end of Rustenburg. Rustenburg is wow. That's why I want to move to Cape Town or something. But there's those people from the TikTok family as well. There's the Coke 25 as well, who is here looking for a wife. He's here looking for a wife. Pami, it's so good to finally meet. Girl, I'm gonna get your number after this. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I could stand here saying thank you all day long. Just thank you. Thank you so much. There are people who are not here who will definitely see this. I'll make sure that they see this, who also have been incredible to me. People who have stood by me, people who have supported me, people who have been very, very kind to me. People who, with their influence, made it like, can I tell you, there are some people who are so influential who meeting them was not great because they took away that celebrity thing. They just made it boring because they were so friendly with me and they were so good to me and they didn't seem like they were too far out of reach. Clement, I'm gonna say this, sending this to you. No, he's not here. I'm talking to the camera. Would have loved to be here, but Clement, he came in and he spoiled the whole celebrity thing for me because I was like, I'm meeting Clement, and other people were, oh, you want to meet Clement? And when I got there, he was a brother, he was a friend, and to this day, he has been such a good brother to me. I'm like, you're ruining it. Man, this whole celebrity thing, now we don't even take pictures anymore, like, I met Clement. But there have been such people who have been so kind to me, who have been so good to me, and generous with their influence. This whole influence thing doesn't just come from one person. That's why I tell you, in this room right now, there are so many people who are reaching, people that I could never reach, but you have been kind with your influence. Thank you for sharing your influence with me. Thank you for sharing the spaces that you are in with me. I really appreciate you. I love you guys. And I just want to keep on saying thank you, man. Presley, let me tell you something. Like, bro. When this whole thing started, I was living with Presley and we lived together. We used to share a bedroom, not even a house. When we started off, we were sharing a bedroom. And I think out of my high school friends, people that I was friends with in high school, Presley was the only one who made it through. And of course, I knew some other people in high school. I knew you in high school, but we weren't friends, bro. We were not friends. I didn't know you, but it's not like we were friends or anything. But out of my high school friends, he's the only one who made it through, and it's been a friend ever since. And one of those people that I know, I just, Prez, what's up? This is what I need. No questions asked. I got you. How can I? These people, you don't understand. I'll tell you this. Last thing that I'll tell you, and then I'm just gonna go think about this whole crying thing. I need to. No, it's not. It's not okay. it's never okay. But tell you guys this: as a young guy, I've always been enamored by this idea of self-made, self-whatever, all these things. But I'll tell you this: none of what I'm doing is all about self. None of what I'm doing has happened just because I'm just that good. This whole thing has so many people to it. Now, I'm not saying when the president calls me, I'll take you all with me. I'm not. But however, this whole thing has so many people behind it. You would be surprised. If you knew how much of this happens because of people who are supportive, who are understanding, who always correct me, who guide me, who lead me, people that I call when I'm uncertain, people that I call when I'm in need, people that I call when I'm confused. There are so many people behind this. None of this is self-made. This book is self-published. It's really, we're all in this together. And now, don't ask me about royalties. No, again, I'm alone in that. But we're all in this together. You guys have been really supportive. You guys have been so good to me. And once again, I'll tell you this. You guys today have honored me with your presence. And I'm telling you, for as long as I will remember this day, I will remember the faces that were here. That means a lot to me. That means so much to me. That means so much.